In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of chaotic amateurs.
Welcome to Chaotic Amateurs, the internet's #1 D&D 5e Let's Play podcast. I am your host and DM, Alex. To my right, I have
Dash as the Wolf.
Bentley Michaels as Rifterian Night Meadow.
Rhett as Zephyrus.
Caleb is Scory.
And Milo is Bowl.
And last we left our adventurers, they had just dispatched some would-be robbers, some would-be bandits from their home. After kicking them through death's door, they also discovered a interesting bit of magic in the teleportation chamber that apparently sends them to the city of Turlin. Let the adventure begin.
Pop.
So this is the next day after the assault, the would-be robbery from the Chateau de Magnus. It's the next day. Breakfast has been served. You've had something to eat. You are collecting your things. The tournament is tomorrow. From what you know, it should be about midday that the tournament will start. But you should attend if you would like to claim your title as the victors of Cords Coliseum, the Wolf Balls, the Wolf Pack. But for today, what do we want to do?
I think Ball would be kind of tinkering with the dagger that he got a little bit and trying out some of the spells.
Yeah.
Maybe taking a swing at seeing how mold earth works around the fountain.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, you use your dagger. It is the what's the name of it again? It's the ogre's dagger, which is a short sword.
Yeah.
And so one of the scrolls in there is a mold earth scroll, and allows you to cast mold earth as a cantrip, and you can over about 10 minutes kind of excavate out the outside of the fountain there.
Yeah, I'll just do that in the front yard.
All right.
I'm gonna spend the next morning. I want to see if Willem wants to learn any fighting skills.
Okay.
Him and Strix, I'm gonna take on as my training.
Gotcha.
Start my own little battalion.
Yeah, you've got your little pit there. You've got your training area. Strix is ready to go. He's interested in kind of learning some things. He's pretty excited. Willem, especially kind of at breakfast, doesn't seem very interested. Give me a persuasion check if you're trying one.
And I'd like to maybe assist and basically just not by necessarily encouraging him, but letting him know that, like, Quill, look at it this way, Quillum. I don't want to ever see you get hurt. So the more tools you have in your belt to defend yourself, well, of course, I am okay with it. Master Wolf there is a brilliant fighter and a great teacher from the looks of it.
Yeah. So yeah, give me a persuasion check with advantage, Wolf.
That is 2 2s.
2 2s.
Two.
That's pretty low.
You want to fight?
Willem,
you must train now. please train.
Mr. Wolf, I've other matters I need to attend to this morning. Strix should be helpful in this regard. I'm sorry, I have other matters to make sure I deal with. A lot of paperwork, you know.
I understand. I will ask you again and again until you give in. Everyone in our party should be at least somewhat formidable with a weapon.
Yes. I have always neglected learning how to wield a weapon. Maybe someday, Mr. Wolf. Maybe someday.
I'm sure your sharp tongue will cut our foes to their heart as they're cutting yours out. Well, I'll be off to train now.
All right. So yeah, you take Strix, eager to learn. He's got his 2 axes that he kind of holds. He sets one down and will hold the other one in 2 hands to kind of train with you.
Sweet.
Ball, while you're excavating out the fountain, you go down probably about 5 feet easily enough, and have kind of built a berm around the fountain. And it looks like there is a cut stone piece that goes down at 5 feet and starts going at an angle towards the house. Is kind of what you're able to kind of figure out from your excavation. Digging any deeper, you're gonna start worrying about either destroying the stone, the fountain, or potentially start getting into water down there that might make it difficult.
Okay. Does the stone look like it's been like crafted, or does it just look like bedrock? Okay.
No, it looks very intentional. Intentionally built underneath this fountain.
I would like to grab Zephyrus.
What body part?
Zephyrus. I've been digging out front with my new short sword. I think you should come take a look at this.
Absolutely, Mr. Ball. And I join him at the fountain.
Yeah.
I imagine it's just a mess.
It is. It's muddy.
Everywhere.
Like it's not raining today, but it's there's a bit of wet ever so often. Overcast, a bit humid. Actually, kind of considering that, I would say, Scory, you do notice that a storm appears to be approaching in the next, probably by the end of the day.
Okay.
Your lantern kind of lets you know that.
Yeah, I'm not out there with them at the moment, but I would pop my head out of a window if it opens and yell, "Storms a brewing."
All right.
Just so everyone's aware.
But Zephyrus, you go out and you see a trench dug around your fountain outside, with a stone, cut stone, and I would say it's probably about 8 feet across and square, and then has an angle that goes down towards the house.
So it kind of looks like it goes underneath the house from the path.
If you kind of follow the line, it would go underneath the house.
And is it like, is it curved anyway? Is it completely flat? Are there edges to it?
Yeah, there's 4 corners to it. There's edges to it. It goes down about 5 feet, and then it slants at an angle towards the house.
Well, to me, Zephyrus, this kind of looks like it could be a path, maybe, that leads under the house, is my first assumption.
Well, by cords, pickled onions, it looks like you might be right about that. Almost looks like a cellar door or something heading on down there. I mean, not a cellar door, but, like a cellar's path. You know what I mean, Mr. Ball.
Well, we haven't been able to find any entrance to this basement area. Perhaps we could put a hole in this path and see where it leads.
Why, I am not entirely opposed to that. I'm curious as to what the manifest of the house has to say. Right? We found like a map or something of the house or something, right?
You have a map of the house. You also found mention in one of the journals about like a prison area that had notes on an odd object that was kept, and then some hastily scribbled notes about some sort of thing kept in one of the prisons, and to make sure water was never got to it.
Right. And that's one thing Zephyrus remembered about was the prison. So he says, well, Mr. Ball, by all means, if you'd like to dig through there, you go on right ahead. I am just curious about whether or not this might be related to that prison that we knew about. Far be it from me to spring anybody from the joint, but maybe there are powerful beings under there which we do not want to tamper with. However, it might be fun, spice things up, so be my guest. I'll watch from back here, safe distance, so.
Well, it does kind of concern me, remembering about the dungeon and this creature that doesn't like water. With Scory's intuition of rain coming, maybe opening the dungeon up to a bunch of rain isn't the best idea right now.
Right, I too forgot about the storm and that whole water thing. So perhaps, I don't know, maybe we put the dirt back where we found it, lest we have some company that don't like none of this dirt spread around. And then we could maybe come back and try to bust this thing open in a day or two, perhaps after the tournament.
Fair enough.
All right.
Does the dagger require attunement? I forget. I didn't check.
An artificer gets to attune automatically, right?
No. I still have to do regular attunement.
Mm-hmm. Riff and Scory, is there anything you want to do in the morning?
Were we told about the teleportation circle?
I imagine, yeah, it was brought up to everyone. Everyone's on the same page on the teleportation circle in the morning.
And how does it work? We just jump into it?
It's an active one. It has a one-way direction for the active part, and as long as you step inside, it will take you to Turlin.
And I would have to know the password or whatever to how we got into that mage's tower in order to get back that way.
There was a book or a candelabra or something that we pulled that opened it. So
that gets to kind of the secret area.
Yeah, we probably would have told, if we told you about the circle, we would have told you how to get to it probably.
Not what I was asking. I'm asking.
But you're talking about getting back.
I'm talking about getting to the teleportation circle from the town. Is it like the mage's tower where we'd have to know the house code or whatever?
Exactly. You'd have to have access to the spell and then the code for the house to do it.
And we don't know that yet.
Or some other active teleportation circle that went directly here if that were to exist somewhere.
And it was in the garden, right? Not the mage tower or whatever.
It was in the garden, yeah, that courtyard, the same place that you first entered in.
When you did your cool landing and the gardener saw you.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'll take some time stitching. I took a little bit of time last night, but I'm going to take some more time because I've got a kind of like a vesty thing with a hood. That's my, and then I've got garb underneath or whatever. And then, so I'm going to be attaching my Omen Bringer's dealy do. I'm going to be sewing it onto my stuff. So when I put up my hood now, it's got the cool skull, the beak coming right down to my nose and stuff, and I look all cool.
Dude, the picture of that item looks so badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after I do that, I'm gonna go into town and see my pal at his parents' castle.
Okay. All right. You gonna make your way to town. Scory, is there anything you're wanting to do in the morning?
Oh, by the way, I go through the portal deal.
Sure, yeah.
And I do another spin kick to see here. Roll. Acrobatics. Non-natural 20. Do I do it better this time?
You do better, yeah.
Yes. Does the gardener see me?
Yes.
Yes. Hey, do you see that one, bud?
Yes.
Woo! Nailing it. Off to see my pal. Bye.
Bye.
And I just start walking towards Petey Pablo's house or whatever they're called. I always forget what they're called, what their names are. Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yeah, heading towards the castle, I imagine. Okay. And Scory, is there anything you're wanting to do in the morning?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my typical ritual. Spending time with Ball has kind of made me start to ponder the greater things in life, such as does Ball have a soul and that kind of stuff. So I cast runes and talk to my ancestors about Ball, and kind of see what they have to say about it. And I got this inverted, which is interpreted as an unclear reading but stable, which means you gain a bonus to your initiative rolls and can't be surprised until next dawn. And that's for Ball.
Okay.
And it's kind of noted by this particular rune is disguised as the bringer of pain and limitation. But it's at the moment of greatest darkness do we become aware of the light within.
Ooh.
Seems very interesting for Ball, and it puzzles Scory for sure. And then after I do that ritual, which I think you said it takes, does it take an hour, 10 minutes? I can't remember.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. After that, I want to spend time reviewing the books that I have collected that were on the list that I'm supposed to destroy.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough to collect those. Yeah.
And if I have time, I want to read through whatever I can of them. And
okay. Yeah, give me an investigation check, just kind of how well you get through the books and absorb the information.
12.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. You spend a few hours kind of getting. You can spend a few hours to get through a good amount of these books, kind of absorb some of their information while you're doing that.
Okay.
Riff, you are in the town of Turlin.
Yeah.
It's early morning, mid-morning, getting there. When you come out of the library courtyard, you can see the castle on the hill, just across the way. You walk up the kind of tall stairs just past the Temple of Arathis and are greeted by 2 guards and a gate. I'm gonna look down at you.
Hi there, Rafirian Night Meadow, Ghostwise Halfling of the Age, Shadow Monk of the Silver Song, etc., etc. I'm here to see my pal. What was his name?
You don't even remember your pal's name.
No, I wrote it down and then I erased it because I was reading
Sanj.
Sanj, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm here to see my pal Sanj. He said I could swing by. We met down at the river the other day. You can just tell him that Riff's here.
And you said you are a number of titles. I'm sorry, the family is not seeing visitors.
Well, what if you told him that I was here, though?
I do not think that would change things, young halfling. Isn't it? Shouldn't you be out learning something? Why are you here at this castle?
Because my friend said I could come see him whenever I wanted. So I'm here to see him because now I got this cool new cloak thing. Look at the hood. I pull it up so I look scary. I'm like, wow. Ah, it's pretty sweet, huh? He'd like to see it.
I see. Give me a persuasion check.
All right. I'll allow it.
Oh, I thank you so much.
Oh, 15.
15? All right. Hold on one second.
Yes.
You got to talk to the other guard. The other guard goes behind the gate and returns about 15, 20 minutes later.
I'm just sitting there practicing Chuck katas, like showed off to the other guard. I'm like, hey, check this one out. And I'm like doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sweet, huh?
Sure, yes.
And I keep trying to do like harder ones, and I'm starting adding like aerial tricks, like I'm fucking Darth Maul or whatever. And I'm just like, because this guy's just not budging, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah. And kind of as you're waiting too, there's at least 1 or 2 people that do kind of come in and out. Looks like some merchants or businessmen that come in and have business at the castle. But about 20 minutes go by, and the other guard comes in, kind of whispers to the head guard. Oh, I see. Sanj is not here at the moment.
Oh God!
We were told that you may wait for him.
When's he supposed to be back?
I'm so sorry. No, come in, please.
Okay.
We've been given direction that you are here. You can see the Lord.
Nice.
Yes, please. Come out of the rain. And they kind of lead you in. There's the main castle kind of off to your left, and then a smaller kind of
pool house,
like not a pool, like a office.
Sure.
Looks like that's kind of where the more logistical bureaucratic stuff happens, and you're led into kind of the small waiting area. This is where you all first kind of came when you got the information about the house.
All right.
So you there? There's I would say probably, two people just kind of doing paperwork in here.
What's up, guys? Doing some paperwork? That's cool.
Just kind of look up at you.
Yeah. I'm here to see Sanj. She's not here right now, but he'll be back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. After about 10 minutes,
so bored.
A young woman walks in. Well dressed. She has kind of a warm cloak on because of the weather. Sees you and just immediately comes over to you and says,
"Hey,
yes, you must be Riff. Is that correct?"
That's me, Rifiri Night Meadow, Ghostwise Halfling of the Age, Shadow Monk of the Silver Song, Protege Master DJ Yamani, etc., etc., etc. I need to get a business card.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know who any of those people are, but it does sound impressive.
All right.
Sanj mentioned you the other day. He said that you had met out by the river.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of looks over at the people doing paperwork. Here, come with me, and takes you down the hallway to kind of one of the more private rooms. Shuts the door and says, "Sorry, Sanj is not supposed to be out that far.
Oh.
And I hope there's someone that takes care of you and keeps you out of places like that as well. But
no, I'm pretty much in charge of myself.
I would just hope, if you are a friend of my brother's, that you keep him away from places like that. He's curious. He's a curious boy, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But he can get himself in danger.
Why?
Well, you were there, yes? You were talking to those bird people.
The Kenku.
Yes, they can be very dangerous. And outside,
yeah, they've got a
city,
weird, all colored one. It's all like foghorn leghorny. He's just a jerk.
Oh, exactly. See, we know nothing of these Kenku, these birds, and Sanj is young. He can't defend himself, and
I don't know.
To run off
he's got some
by
pretty cool
himself.
stuff.
Well,
I mean, you know about
that's
you
why
know about
I
his
worry
stuff,
about
right?
him.
And I'm winking.
What do you mean?
You know, like he's got cool features.
Wink. I see.
You know, like animal stuff.
Animal stuff. She seems genuinely confused.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you don't. Well, it's not my place to say anything. Forget I said anything.
I see. So Sanj is out with our mother at the moment. He will be back soon. But I would just ask you, as a favor to my family, to my brother, if you do interact with him, make sure he stays in town. Make sure he stays safe.
Well, yeah, that's why I came here. He said I could come here and we could hang out.
Good. Yes.
Oh, and
so
hey, me and my group we're like in the finals for like the thing over at the battle arena thing tomorrow. You guys should totally come. We
you're
are
that
kicking some
halfling.
butt. Yeah, man.
I see. My mother was telling me about you. Apparently you did very well, and we are hopeful that you will do well tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we got Mr. Wolf, and we got Zephyrus, and we got Scory, and we got Ball and Chain. We got something pretty snappy going on.
It sounds exciting. I think our whole family will be attending tomorrow. We will be there. If you'd like to wait, though, I will send Sanj over when you arrive.
I'll just sit here and meditate. I just sit, like, put my back up against a wall where I can kind of see the entire room, and I sit down crisscross applesauce and just sort of go into like with my eyes open, but like doing like an open eye meditation.
Okay.
Just controlling my breathing and trying to become one with the shadows around me.
All right. So you sit and wait for Sanj to return. The rest of the group over at Chateau de Magnès, is there anything you want to get done?
Well, it certainly is quieter around here. Anybody see Rafarian not metal this month? No, I'm just kidding.
I would, if it's been a while, like maybe I'm done with my book stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
If people are still outside, like if Wolf is still training and these guys are still yucking it up in the mud, I would warn them that the storm is getting closer and ask Zephyrus, is there anything we need to do to prepare the chateau before the storm hits?
Can I use my weather sense to know if this storm is magical or also I guess
right. If it's a naturally occurring weather pattern that's coming in.
Right.
So using your weather sense, it does seem like this is the natural weather that should be happening at the moment.
I would like to, since there is a giant storm coming, I'm going to pray to my god Cord to appease him, so he will keep the storm away, because that's something Cord likes to do. So,
well, I mean, Cord likes the storms. You know, he's the lightning kind of god as well.
Yes, I'm trying to appease him with my prayers, so we don't get battered with it.
I see. Yes.
Is Cord like Thor?
Not really.
Did I just break apart your pantheon here? No, just kidding.
No.
You know, lightning's not owned by the god of thunder or whatever.
Yeah. Thor can.
But you.
It's owned by Percy Jackson.
Here you go. You kind of pray to Cord for Bastion in the storm.
Cool.
And Strix is just kind of tilts his head as you're doing that, as he is doing his different axe moves. He's working up to trying to throw the axe.
Nice.
So far, he has not hit the tree, but it's getting closer each time.
Yeah, he'll get there. He can throw axes from a distance in battle for me.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wear him from your baby Bjorn while he throws axes.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah, like a Master Blaster situation.
Yes, right, there you
go. Cool. So I just let Willem know that there's a storm coming, and that if he thinks it's appropriate to shutter the windows or whatever, then I'll allow him.
Yes. We haven't had rain yet, really. There may be leaks. I'll gather buckets and make sure everything's secure. Don't worry. I'll take care of it.
I'll come with you and help. And I'll go with Willem.
Thank you, Ball. Perfect.
Cool.
He goes and collects, kind of wooden buckets and things like that, just in case there's leaks that need to be captured, and make sure all the windows and doors are shut tight.
Zephyrus, I've never seen you so dirty. What have you been doing all morning?
Oh, by Cord's belt, I gotta do some laundry here, and I cast prestidigitation and clean my clothes off.
There you go.
And I say, I was out there getting in the mud with Mr. Ball. I don't like to brag about my ability of hard work and all that sort of thing, but yes, Zephyrus did get dirty this morning.
Well,
I know how to plow a tree.
Well, I'm glad you're clean now. I just didn't feel right about the state you were in. Were you by chance working on that fountain?
Well, what do you mean? I was helping Mr. Ball dig. Of course, by helping Mr. Ball dig, I was just enjoying a nice morning pipe while watching him do all the work. But
Did you happen to get an uneasy feeling while you were working on it?
no, well, I don't believe I did, Mr. Tilbrun. No.
So, I had an interesting encounter with it the other night, or last night.
Yeah.
The days
When
kinda
Willem
blur
kind of
together.
told you to kind of put your hand on it.
Yeah.
When you actually touched the stone,
Oh,
that's
right.
when that happened.
Yeah. Would you humor me just a moment and place your hand on that stone and tell me what you sense?
Sure, Mr. Tilbrun, I can humor you all day long, and I guess I go out if I wasn't out, and I touch the fountain.
And
Mhm.
when I indicate the stone, I point at it, but I do it with my other hand on his shoulder, and I want to cast guidance.
Okay. And Ball, did you cover everything back up, or did you leave some of that stone?
No, I covered
Uncovered.
I put all the dirt back on and everything.
Okay.
So
With that, that kind of lower stone is inaccessible, and
Oh.
touching the fountain elicits kind of no response, no uneasy feeling.
Mr. Tilbrun, I don't sense anything. Perhaps you could describe to me what it is you're worried about.
Well, I've been on the sea a long time, and I've dealt with my close encounters with drowning, and I have to say what I experienced when I touched that stone, mind you, at Willem's suggestion, that I felt something akin to that, that dread, that panic of not knowing where your next breath is going to come from and if you're going to be able to find it or not. And so I'm a little concerned with what this connects to.
Well, according to some messages left by my ancestors here, my relatives, supposedly there are some dread creatures buried on the ground somewhere around here. My guess, I asked Mr. Ball to cover this back up as we were digging so as not to disturb them while water was coming, because they say do not let water into the prison, else they may be able to break free, or perhaps morph into horrible creatures, or perhaps, I don't know, just quench their thirst and continue on surviving.
Well, that makes sense why the fountain isn't actually functioning. And I pull aside the vines and show them the statues where I think water would presumably come from. And ask,
Yeah, it does look like there's space for water.
yeah,
It's anatomically correct.
yeah. Do you happen to recognize these figures by chance? I know it's likely nothing, but I'm just curious.
Would I recognize them?
No,
No.
They there's nothing.
Generic cherubim and such.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
that kind of
Mr.
just decorative.
Absolutely, Mr. Tailbone. You telling me that you don't recognize this beautiful figure from history?
I guess I'm not as refined as you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just messing with you. I don't know these fools. It's just a stone carving, Mr. Telbrun. Not everything is a portrait or a bust of some historical or mythological figure, Mr. Telbrun.
Well, I wouldn't put it past this place. It seems like everything's got some sort of meaning.
Well, be that as it may, even the richest art comes from the mind, comes from the heart.
What?
Or he throws up and then walks away.
I feel like you were making that up as you were saying it.
Yeah,
Even
the words started leaving. I was
finest
like, what am I
art
doing?
comes from brain.
Finest art comes from my butt.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I don't recognize him.
So I go in and shelter from the storm.
Yeah.
Is it
And
coming that fast?
After a few hours, it does kind of begin to pick up.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's raining. You know, it's
Gotcha.
you can hear it on the roof. Willem's got some of the buckets.
Mr. Ball, perhaps whilst we are locked inside, preventing our clothes from getting wet, perhaps there is a way to get down to that stone tunnel that we're looking at from inside the house. Perhaps we can spend some of our quality time looking for that.
Well, yeah. The hole that the dragon dug seemed like the best way to get into the ground, but we didn't find anything the last time we were there.
It is just a hole in the ground. There ain't even dragon's treasure under there, much to my chagrin.
So yeah, the hole, and kind of, maybe you're having this conversation as you're looking down in there. So it goes underneath, goes past the foundation, and there's no passageways or anything that go deeper, but there is like cracks in the bedrock that do kind of lead further deeper in to whatever is below. The cracks are pretty small.
Watch
a small person might be able to get through them, squeeze through them.
Well, Mr. Telbrun, you mind coming to the main hall for a moment here?
Sure thing. I've got nothing better to do.
Mr. Telbrun, you are of the Druidic persuasion. Am I incorrect in my assumption?
That is the term that most people use, yes.
Being such, can you turn into small creatures and enter in tiny places? Is that a thing you can do? I think you've done that. Yeah, you turned into an elk at the Coliseum, Mr. Telbrun. Of course you can do this. Now, instead of turning into a large creature, I'm only asking you to turn into a small creature that can fit through these here cracks in this floor. Last time I tried to fit through something that small, I ended up almost dead, carried on Mr. Wolf's back like a rump roast.
You're killing it tonight.
Yes, I believe I can, but you're not instilling a lot of confidence that I'll make it out alive. Can I ask why you want me to go into these cracks? Further into the earth?
Well, Mr.
For adventure, for exploration. Why, of course.
Of course, those reasons that Mr. Ball outlined, and the reasons of which there is likely a prison holding dread and deadly creatures underneath this house, and we need to know more about it before this hole fills with water, and, like I was telling you before.
I can't say you sold it real strong with the whole prison and deadly beasts thing.
Oh. Well, we are investigating whether or not that thing down there is a deadly prison. Now, I am suddenly concerned because the writings of my family say, do not give them water. This here is a hole. Holes are where water collects. Willem is concerned that the house is leaking. Cracks are where water flows out of holes, Mr. Telbrun. So this hole fills with water from the leaks in the house coming from the storm, and it's empties through these cracks here leading into the prison, thus breaking one of the holiest of covenants we have forged with my family members who built this house, not to give those creatures water.
Water.
Before he finishes that, just because I just got so fed up with how long he was taking to explain everything.
Sure, yeah.
I turned into a weasel and I started down one of those cracks.
Okay.
Will a weasel
yeah,
fit?
A weasel will definitely fit. No need to squeeze even for you. So yeah, you are a little weasel. Give me a perception check. Kind of as you're going down, you're taking a look at things. I imagine weasels don't have night vision.
They have
dark vision.
hearing, smell, stealth, and perception.
Okay, yeah. Give me a smell check then. Give me a perception at advantage.
Perception at advantage.
Yeah.
Also, if I connected to him with my pipe, which why don't I? He gets a wisdom modifier equal to his charisma modifier if he has one, or maybe it's equal to mine.
Probably yours.
In that case, it would be +2. Not much.
So +2.
Yeah.
Well, while we're at it, can I also give myself guidance?
Not after you've become an animal.
I didn't think so. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Genghis.
let's see here.
Balka.
Mr. Ball, do you want to give that weasel guidance down that, or
if it's nearby.
No, I scooted off before you finished
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
I doubt that would really happen. So is his 2 in addition to my?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like it's a bonus modifier.
It'll just be
Awesome.
just +2 to
Okay.
whatever you've got going
So
on.
I get a +5 and advantage.
Yes.
Don't screw this up, Caleb.
2 2s.
Okay, I rolled an 18, so +5. That's 23.
Nice.
23.
Good job.
Very
Nice.
good. So yeah, you kind of smelling around, and most of kind of the different little cracks and stuff go off into just dead ends, and you can kind of get a sense of what those smell like, just old dirt and water. But there's an interesting smell kind of as you're going deeper and deeper into these cracks.
You're like Gandalf in the Mines of Moria.
You guess you probably are going down about probably 20 feet below where the house is, and it kind of switches back the kind of cracks that you have to travel through and follow this scent. But after about 5-10 minutes, you make it down and are peeking out into a large open chamber that looks constructed. To your left, there is a kind of large double door that's been locked shut. There are 3 doors across from you that look like they are open. Nothing's inside of them. And then a door far off to the right that looks sealed as well. And you see kind of that direction. There's a small pool of water that's just kind of like, it looks like the room's almost tilted and it's all collecting in that direction
To kind of keep water away. I mean, metagaming, like to.
no, actually, so it looks level, but the water appears as if it's tilted towards that door.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like something's kind of pulling water to the door is what it kind of looks like. Also, kind of further back, you do see a barred gate that's been closed. There's bars and a hallway that goes down.
Okay. And do I see the source of that pooled water anywhere? Like it's dripping through any cracks or anything?
Yeah, you see there's a couple of cracks in this room. Even there's one the one you're in, there's a little bit of dripping. Not very much. It's very slow.
How much water would you say is gathered?
It's probably like a 5-foot circular area of like a quarter of an inch of water. So not very much.
And I'm trusting your assessment, considering your IRL profession.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I see any markings noting the occupants of any of these barred off areas or open chambers?
Do you want to get down and take a look?
Yeah.
From where you are, it being dark, it's kind of tough to tell. There's just a little bit of light that permeates in this area from some kind of glowing mushrooms that have grown.
Yeah, I would maybe. Rhett, I can't remember. Did you tell me about? Did Zephyrs tell Scory about the water situation?
Mm-hmm.
That there's a.
Twice now.
Okay.
Yeah, I did though.
Okay, so I would go towards the pool of water and kind of lap some up, maybe.
Okay.
Trying to make it a smaller pool, and also take stock in what is maybe behind the door.
Yeah.
Is this the double door or the?
Not the double door, no. So this one's across from the double door. And kind of, so what happens is you kind of start climbing down from this crack onto the floor in this chamber, and that sense of kind of unease takes you over a little bit as you start approaching this door. You kind of get halfway there, and you get that sense of just kind of nausea as you get a little closer. You start walking a little slower up to the water, but you get to it, and you can drink a little bit of the water. Taking a look, it would take a fair amount of time to really drink up enough of water to make a difference.
Right,
for how so small you are.
It's more of a cover. Like I'm trying to look like
Gotcha. Yeah.
Weasel.
You look like a normal weasel. Yeah.
Do I see any markings or anything on the door from there?
On the door markings. No markings on the door. No, doesn't look like there's any kind of documentation for any of these doors.
Okay. Can I just maybe investigate the door, see what's keeping it shut, or like whatever the locking mechanism is?
Yeah, it looks like there's two large, heavy steel bars that are in front of it that kind of sit that keep it closed. They can be removed from this side pretty easily.
Okay. I want to work my way around the room, take a peek in those empty ones, or the ones with the doors empty.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, open, and finish up at the double door before coming back.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
And investigation is
It'll be intelligence.
okay. Well, that sucks. Because it's a -4 for a weasel.
For a weasel, sure.
Yeah. So
Makes sense.
so it's 9.
9. Okay. So yeah, you take a look at the rooms. The first two that you take a look at from the chamber, not much is in there. Some mushrooms are growing in there. Some of them kind of light up. Some of them are these black mushrooms that kind of ooze a little bit. You, in your kind of weasel form, think you shouldn't eat those. They look pretty dangerous.
Okay.
The third chamber has a kind of rotten skeleton in there with some dark clothing that seems to be deteriorating. Taking a look around, there's not much you can find on them. And then the last one, the double door, also has these kind of two large like metal locks to it, these plates that fit across it to keep it shut.
And no markings on that one though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there was any markings on these. They didn't need to keep any kind of housekeeping for them. And as you're kind of circling this room down here, you can see further into the area that has those bars. It looks like there's a hallway that goes down and a staircase that goes up, and then two doors on either side of the hallway.
Just guessing, the stairway maybe leads up towards ground level.
Yeah, you would imagine that's
And can I poke my little weasel head through the gate and peer down?
Yeah, going up to the gate, you can fit through the bars. They're not close enough together to not let a weasel through. And it's about 25 feet up until you get to the start of the staircase that goes upward.
Okay. And but you said there's a like it splits off. There's a stairway going up and something else going deeper.
Oh, sorry. So there's a stairway going up, and then kind of before you get to that stairway, on the left and the right are two doors.
Okay. I want to take a peek at those doors if I could.
The doors. They look like pretty standard doors, but they do have a lock on them.
No indication of what contents.
No, not from what you see.
No markings in this whole place. I haven't seen a single marking.
Not a single marking.
Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay. I am going to head back, but I am going to you know what? I think I'll go up the stairs and see how far I can get up.
Okay. You start going up the staircase, and it goes for probably 30 feet across, kind of an elevation, probably about 20 feet up. And as you get closer to it, you can hear the sound of rain.
Okay. Pretty
and
close.
As you kind of get up just underneath it, there is marking underneath where this is. It stops and is flat right there.
Okay. I read whatever that marking is.
Do you know Elvish?
I do not. No, I don't.
It is in Elvish.
Okay. Can I have I been living long enough and seen enough Elvish to remember the markings at least, so I can kind of
if you need to try and recall them, you can make an intelligence check when you try and do that.
Another intelligence check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mind you, weasel.
Yeah. That's a natural 1.
Natural 1. Yeah, you know what they say. You're pretty confident.
No. This is going to be okay, confident that I memorized the Elvish script. Yeah. I double back. I want to investigate that one skeleton a little closer with the dark clothing, and then I'll head out and other people can do stuff.
Okay. So you take a look at the skeleton, spend some time looking it over. The one thing that really pops out at you is kind of the head is tilted back and the mouth is open, and there are 2 very sharp teeth that come down from the top and the bottom. So 4 sharp teeth total. But no items or anything. It does look like this was some sort of prison, and creatures were kept in these cells.
The new ear cuff that I'm wearing, it gets absorbed into me during wild shape, correct?
Right.
Does it?
All your equipment.
Is there any sort of response internally from that when I approach this thing?
No. Yeah, all your equipment is kind of gone from use when you go into a wild shape.
Okay.
So yeah, no sense that you get from it.
And is this skeleton still restrained?
Doesn't look like it. No, doesn't look like there was any manacles or anything keeping this held back. The door most likely was the only thing keeping it in this room.
Oh boy. Okay, but the door was open.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll head back, and eventually, when I get there, I relay everything to Zephyrus that I saw, including the Elvish.
Okay. The Elvish is nonsense that you're able to recreate.
But I'm certain it means something.
Yeah. You're like, this is definitely what I saw. Actually, Zephyrus, give me an intelligence check.
Come on, buddy.
I don't have intelligence, so
yeah.
Yeah, not much better. 2.
Oh my god. Yeah, y'all don't know.
Certain
what
I'm
that
right.
Says.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, all right. I guess if that's what he thinks it says.
Elven conspiracy. What's Mr. Wolf doing?
Exactly what I was thinking.
The Illuminati.
Yeah.
You relay the information, so everyone at the house is pretty much up to speed on kind of what is down there.
Yeah, and I take special time to note that, considering what I've heard about this whatever beast that likes water, that there is a pool forming near this cell, which I believe to contain it.
Now, Mr. Pelbrun, am I to believe that you remained as a weasel the whole time whilst you were down there? You did not turn into your normal humanoid self to try and take care of this, full well knowing that water could be deadly to us here?
It actually did cross my mind to turn back into me, as you see me now. However, I did not know what I was going to encounter, and I figure a weasel seems much more innocent than a pirate half-orc.
Have you ever met a weasel, Mr. Telbrun? They are never innocent. Now, that being said, did you think of a way in which... Ow! Did you think of a way in which we might be able to access these lower tunnels? This door you mentioned, Elvish, it was on a staircase. You could hear a refrain, which means that perhaps that it's near the surface of the house.
Let me correct you there. So, I went up the stairs. There were doors at the base of the stairs, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And at the top of the stairs, it was just flat, as if it had been concrete poured over or whatever. That's where the Elvish was. But I could hear rain, so it can't be too far down.
That's got to be another. This house is rife with secret entryways and comings and goings, as we well know. That flat surface you encountered has to be yet another one such entryway.
I believe it to be possibly just further down from where you and Mr. Ball were digging today.
Right. But
because it was exposed to the elements.
Oh, perhaps there's a magic word which we could move the fountain or some such. As you say, it's not a real fountain. Mr.
And I'm
Ball,
guessing,
what are your...
It's the Elvish word Lafwood.
Yeah, that's exactly what you read in Elvish there. As you guys are kind of discussing this prison underneath, back in town, Riff, Sanj comes into the door after waiting probably like a half hour, 45 minutes, sees you and says, Rafirian, there you are. My sister said you were here.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing right now?
Waiting for you.
Good. Okay. You know those bird people?
Uh-huh.
I think they're in trouble.
I think so too. And this is why. Because there was this big, crazy, wackadoo Joseph Technicolor Dreamcoat bird that came out and was super dicks to all of them.
What?
Yeah. Some people broke into our mansion and they hurt some of the Kenku. So then we saved them afterwards. And then I walked them back, to let them know it was all good. And then the next day I went to take supplies to my buddy, and this big stupid one came out with all of his crazy rainbow colors, and then beat up my pal, and then squawked at me. He could actually talk. It wasn't like how the Kenku just repeat stuff. He had basic, basic.
I haven't met anyone like that.
I know, but he's a big old dick, and we should definitely liberate those birds. Look at my new thing.
Yeah.
See, and I pull up my hood. I'm like, I can
Is that like a skull? Is that like a?
Yeah. It's like a bird skull. It's really cool.
That's
Watch
cool.
this, and I use my bonus action or whatever it is to call my crow familiar.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And I go, look at that. Isn't that cool? That's a crow familiar now. I can see through its eyes.
Okay. Yeah. You're gonna be super helpful then. Yeah, we need to go help them. I got some supplies for them because I knew they said they were kind of hurt, and so I've got some bread and things that they can. Is there
There's
anything
only
else we
one problem: is that your sister told me to not let you go anywhere near that sort of stuff because it was out of your play zone, and you kind of got in trouble last time you were there.
Yeah. Which sister did you talk to?
I don't know. She seemed older, pretty responsible.
That's both of them.
Well, I
going.
I described the sister to him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What is her name? He tells you her name. That's Verida.
But she did say you guys were coming to watch us at the tournament thing tomorrow, which is going to be awesome.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if my friends are hurt, I gotta go help them.
So you're going to do it even if I say no?
I mean, I'd like you to say yes, but I gotta go do it.
But that's not my question. Are you going to go do it even if I say no?
Well, yeah.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Perfect. Okay. I'll get my supplies. Meet me outside.
All right. I go outside and I pretend as I walk by the guards, I'm like, well, chaps, thanks for a lovely day.
And the guard kind of looks down at you and says, of course. Just
keep on gardening stuff.
Of course, yes. Thank you, halfling. And you make your way outside and wait for Sanj to come out with some supplies. But we'll go ahead and pick up all of that next time on Chaotic Amateurs. Thank you for joining us around our proverbial podcast table this week. I have been your DM, Alex. To my right, I have.
Dash is Thrakis.
Bentley Michaels is Rafiri and Night Meadow.
Rhett is Zephyrus.
Caleb Ascori.
Milo is Mole.
And thank you guys. Grab your swords and keep on adventuring.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.